Hey babe, should I design board games for a living?
No, there's no such thing as fun for the whole family. Should I get married on April Fool's Day?
It's better to shut up and give the impression that you're stupid than say something and erase all doubt. Hey guys, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Just Tell Me What to Do by Flying Leap Games.
And Just Tell Me What to Do, you are going to be giving the other players unsolicited advice from the cards that you draw from the advice deck, hoping to sway them to your side. You're going to get 45 seconds to persuade the judge that your advice is the best advice at the table. Let's give you some more examples of the cards that you're going to find in this game. Before you criticize someone, you should walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, you're a mile away, and you have their shoes. Jack Handy.
Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Mark Twain.
You never realize what you have until it's gone. Toilet paper is a good example.
Whatever you do, always give 100% unless you're donating blood. Bill Murray.
And some of the dilemma cards that you're going to find in this game are pretty hilarious as well. Such as, should I break into the zoo and free all the animals? Should I get a face tattoo? Anyway, this game is very simple and it's a blast to play. Let's go over the rules and I can explain it to you in under 60 seconds. In this game, all players are going to be dealt 4 advice cards. And you're going to make sure that you have 4 in your hand at all times. So that means whenever you play one card, you're going to draw a new one to refill your hand back up to 4. One player is going to play a dilemma card. And they'll read it out loud and place it in front of all players. And all the other players are going to choose one of their advice cards to play, putting it face down in the middle of the table. After all players have played their advice card, then the person whose turn it is with the dilemma will read all of the advice cards played by the other players. And each player will have 45 seconds to explain why their advice is the best advice. After which, the person who has the dilemma is going to pick the advice that they like best. Whether that be because it is the best advice or it makes absolutely no sense, it was just funny. The first player to get 3 advice cards is going to be the winner, and that's it. That's how you play Just Tell Me What to Do. Now, this idea has been done several different times. This idea where somebody's a judge and they play a card where everybody else has to play a different type of card and hoping that the judge will pick their card. You've seen it in Apples to Apples, Cards Against Humanity. It's been done time and time and time again. And you see it in this game. However, this is the first game that I'm aware of that uses this 45 seconds where you get to actually explain why you picked the card that you pick. I thought that was pretty interesting. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think, sometimes your thought process doesn't always come out in the cards when the other person's reading it. So it kind of gives you a chance to, explain. It gives you a chance to, why did you choose that card? Why is it funny to you, or why does it make sense to you? And it can help you win.
Yeah.
Or lose, because I was really bad at explaining why I chose my cards.
And it really helps that the cards that they have in this game are pretty humorous. Some of them are serious advice, things that people know. Wayne Gretzky's quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But even when you get a serious quote like that, if you're
paired with the right dilemma,
right,
it can still be funny.
And if you want to spin it in a humorous way, you totally can. You can get very creative and imaginative with this game. And because it has this theme of, I'm going to be your life coach or your therapist, I'm a therapist in real life. It's fun trying to convince somebody that what you have to share with them is valuable knowledge, valuable wisdom, or it's just a load of, a load of nonsense. It's fun trying to persuade somebody with your argument or with your quote. Sam, we played this with some of our friends. I've played it with coworkers who've not really played any games, really any modern day games. And it's gone over well in the groups that I've played it with. You liked it a lot, I feel like, right?
Yeah, it's a very simple game. I mean, I think most people are going to be able to pick this up very quickly. It's a party game, so
Yeah.
it can be played very quickly. It's a good icebreaker. I think it's definitely something to have on your shelf to play, especially when you have a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quick. The box says 30 minutes. I think it can go even quicker than that, depending on how many players you're playing with. And it's ages 14 and up, and I think that's probably just for the fact that, you know, the humor is something that can get caught with adults
Yeah.
more so than with younger kids. There's not too much adult humor in this game. I did come across a few cards that had a little
You
bit
can
of
weed them out.
Yeah,
pretty
you can
easy.
weed them out very
It's
easily.
not Cards Against Humanity.
No, it's not on that level at all. This is definitely a game that's going to be enjoyed by most everybody that you bring this out and play with, regardless of you know, if they are very conservative or if they're very much, yeah, let's play the Cards Against Humanity type of game.
Yeah.
This is going to work with most crowds you play it with. I will say, as is the case with all of the games that are kind of like this, you do run into that issue of somebody just picking someone's card because they want them to get the card and keeping somebody from winning. That's going to happen in these types of games, but it's a party game and you're not always playing it just to win.
Yeah.
You're playing it to have the enjoyment and the experience of playing this type of game. So, Sam, let's do pros and cons on this real quick. What were the things you really enjoyed about Just Tell Me What to Do?
I mean, I like being able to explain your cards. I think it's fun to get to hear what everybody's thought process was. I think some of them are kind of, sometimes you're just like, I don't know, I just thought it was funny. So
Yeah.
sometimes you don't necessarily, at least I don't always have a reason why I chose it. That's just what was in my hand and that's the one I chose. I believe in Cards Against Humanity and other games like that, there's usually a chance for you to discard your whole hand and redraw, or maybe that's just how we played. There isn't that in this game, and sometimes you're kind of just stuck with some blah cards, and so we did allow for redrawing of cards,
And
I
yeah.
think the game allows for a little bit of
You can definitely do house rules if you want to with this game because it is such a loose and free-flowing kind of experience with this game, and it's really all about getting cards out that work and get the people talking and laughing. And so if you want to get rid of your 4 cards to get 4 new ones, I say go for it.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, there's not much to the game for it to have a whole lot of cons.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. It's light. You can play it with up to 8 people. It's a good party icebreaker game.
And you do get tons of cards here. I mean, I've played it several times now, and I guarantee I've not even seen half of the cards in this game. You get a lot of advice cards, a lot of dilemma cards, and they even give you this little notepad here if you want to make up your own advice, your own dilemma. You can write it out here and throw it out to the crowd and argue away with what you've got there. So this is one that gives you a lot of replayability into it. And every time you play it, unlike a lot of those other kind of games, every time you play this game, it's going to be different, even if you get the same cards, because other minds are going to think differently and use the cards in different ways, which is a really cool thing about this one. So, all right, so scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. Where do you land with this one?
I think I would do a different scale for this game. It is a party game, and I would put it on a scale with other party games. I'm not going to put this with Azul or Ticket to Ride or anything like that. It's a party game. So for party games, I'd probably rate it a 7.2.
Okay. All right. It's a very solid score for that.
Yeah, it's right there. It's a great game to play. It's light, so I think it's not as high as maybe some other party games could be.
For me, I'm going to rate this on a party scale kind of score as well, because I totally agree with Sam that you can't rate party games the same way you do other types of games. It serves a purpose, and it's a purpose that has its unique spot in the board gaming world. So for me, for this type of party game, this is a really solid one. In fact, I would go so far to say that this is probably my favorite one in the genre of I throw out a card and everybody plays a card based off that card, and then I pick one. It's probably my favorite one in that vein of games. So because of that, I'm going to give it a pretty high score. I'm going to say this is a 7.9 for me because whether it be just because I'm a therapist and I'm in the business of listening to people's dilemmas and hearing them out, I like to see other people kind of put their 2 cents into things and see how their brains work. It's a fun experience seeing people's creative imaginations go into using quotes or just bits of advice and how they think through that and they use it towards should I get a face tattoo? That's always a fun thing. So, well, there you have it. That is our thoughts on Just Tell Me What to Do from Flying Leap Games. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about it.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.